Are we here? Finally! Welcome to the stream, folks. Can I just get a quick AV? Can you hear the game murmuring in the background? And can you hear me murmuring in the foreground? And I know you can see the game, don't lie. AV, fine. Excellent. Let's get on with it then. So, tonight we are running Just Train's Cornish mainline route. And I thought we'd do a nice short scenario and run the entire length of the route. I'm not fixing it now, Ed. Or do you mean the camera? In which case I'm still not fixing it. Every time I fix it on live, it... So I've not done anything different. Why would it be different? Computers. Oh dear, oh dear. So yes, Cornish mainline. Not Paddington, Penzance. What am I talking? Plymouth to Penzance. Plymouth to Penzance. I see what you mean. That is a bit out, isn't it? How is the volume now? Is that better? Morning, driver. Please prepare the train and unlock the doors. You're due to depart 7:02. Stopping service, so it'll be a long journey. Traffic is light due to the time of day. You should have a clear run. Let's see if it's picked up some bad settings from somewhere. It hasn't, it's all set to default. It's just going to make it worse for different reasons, isn't it? Oh, that's better, except the sky is now really washed out. It's not a million miles from what I'm seeing on my screen. Hopefully that's a bit better. Paul Jackson's the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, FDOR. Where are we currently? We are at Plymouth, so we are on the eastern side of the route, well, almost on the eastern side of the route, and we are going to be running all the way down to Penzance. Right, time to go. We have a green light. I think I've only driven this route once or twice. I think, Rob, didn't you make me pretty much one of the only scenarios I've run on this so far? Hey Ollie, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? What are the reasons this 43 sounds and looks quite different to the one in TSW? 10 years of development. I think this is the original HST from Great Western Mainline. I don't think Just Train's included any new stock in this route when they release it. They just used the original stock from the original rail simulator Great Western Mainline. You did it with the Western, yes indeed, Rob, and fantastic it was too, because it was with Western. So. I've not looked at what I'm going to do on Workshop Wednesday yet, no. I will probably have a look at that 2 minutes before the stream on Wednesday. Have I tried the Class 20 yet? Yeah, I've been trying that a bit. What do you think of it? HST, high-speed train. We're stopping in Devonport, so we're basically using an HST as a sprinter from what I can tell. Alright, coming in for Devonport. Do I like the West Highland Line extension? Yes, it is quite a good route actually. It's very pretty. I'd like to drive it with a steam engine personally. A maroon one with maroon coaches, of course. Glenfinnan pipe. What route is this one, Darren Baldock? This is the Cornish Main Line on Train Simulator 2020. I have a familiar voice to the Class 20 voiceover. Coming on. Strange that, isn't it? I did that one, and Sarita, my wife, did the M3. Remember right? Lockdown voiceover studio hype. The hot plate on the 20 is possibly the highlight of the model. Can I lower the game audio a bit? It's a bit loud, is it? How was that? Megasim, every train should come to TSW. But a bit of southern slam door I would not complain about. Oh, it's time to go. Saltash! Yeah, it appears to be HST stopping everywhere. I'm not quite sure if that's a good thing or not, but it's a thing. It's one of the scenarios that comes in the route. No hot plate in the HSD, no, this is true. There's no zoom on the PS4 on TSW, no, Tyler. Just as we hit the 40, we should get, there we go, there's the 50, we're not stopping here. Next station is Saltash. Oh. All trains are the best, Class 43 Harrison, all trains are the best. Long as it's a train, it's good. Is it normal when you select the front external camera it shows you the rear? Well, the 2 and the 3 keys aren't front and rear. The 2 and the 3 keys are different types of cameras. So if you press 3, you'll get X-Slide. If you press 3 again, you'll get the other camera. And think of it as 2 cameras rather than front or rear cameras, because you can move them around. You can take the front camera and fly it to the other end of the train, switch to the other camera and fly it to the front, and it will leave the cameras where they were. Coming up on Saltash shortly. Alan Pilgrim, I actually have no idea where the creative team get them. I think they've got a source they download, they bought the music from, so otherwise than that I have no idea what the detail is. But I agree, it's excellent, isn't it? Hey there, British Ace, how are you doing? Is there a timetable mode for the Class 20? Yes. Timetable mode for the Class 20 on West Somerset, you just go into timetable mode and the loco should come up as one of the selectable. I would not complain about an 86 or an 87 on TS World either. Really good fun to drive those. Dom and anybody else, if you have any questions on TS World 2, please post them on the Dovetail Games forum, where they're going to be collated, and then the next Q&A stream, over the coming Q&A streams. I'm not promising everything will be answered in the next one, but over the coming Q&A streams we will try and get everyone's questions looked at as many as we can. There's the bridge. It's like the mini Forth Bridge. And then we'll come into Saltash. No, I love the Union Jack house down there. Ground signal clearing us in. You're from Liskin, are you, James? Excellent. Oh, got BR green. No, it's a Ralph Wright Duff sitting over there. The ruler, no, that was dropped into the cab of Class 143, I think. Not the 20. Fast enough to let him out. I know who Jeff Marshall is, indeed, Arsenal fan. F. I don't really have an answer for your question. There's not much point you keep posting it. I would suggest forums is the best place to ask that question. Right, where are we going now? St. Germans. Which, given that we're in another country at this point, because frankly Cornwall is another country, it's probably pronounced entirely differently. And Rob is sitting there shaking his head going, no, no, no. But that's fine. One of the interesting things about this line is that from Plymouth to Penzance there's virtually no straight lines. It's virtually never straight. It's pretty much curve to curve to curve for the entire line. They're saints, Volmic, that's why. Why does this cab look different to the one on GWR? Because it was modelled a long time before it. It's a different model. We'll be doing gameplay videos of TS World 2 at some point, Junkie McGill. Just keep an eye out on social media for the upcoming streams. Banana Pass or Banana Line? Don't really have a preference between the two, Dominic. Passenger view? Yeah, this has got passenger view. Again, quite an old one. Two and a half miles. Have I been to Hexham? Is that on the Portsmouth Direct Line? I might have been through it on a train, but I don't think I've ever visited it on purpose. Is that somewhere people go on purpose? I don't know about Hexham. I like the name. It appeals to my coder techie. That sounds good, Rob. Not talking about TSW at all on this stream, Junkie. Got questions? Post them on the forums. Nigel, the schedule is going to get posted up hopefully a bit later on if it hasn't already, like in the last few minutes. It's all been agreed now. Down to 50 and then stopping at St. Germans. advance warning of the 50. Baked bean kid, I don't have an answer to that question, no. Oh dear. Drop speed. Have I been on the North Yorkshire Moors? No, I haven't actually, and I need to fix that once the COVID's insanity dies down. When was I speeding, Dominic? When was I speeding? I challenge you. I do like the HST. Looks lovely, it do. Assuming that's the HST stop just up here. How much for these headsets? Well, this headset, I think it's about 70 quid for the headset, and these things were about 20 quid. Hi there, I'm Crazy. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? That's the cross-country HS2 marker, isn't it? So where should I have stopped then? Where's there another one? Oh, there's another one. Ah. The other one got to go. If I could have any low-con TSW, what would it be? Oh, I want all of them. Don't make me pick one. What do you want? I'd never be satisfied if I got one. I'd say, oh, I desperately want an X, and then an X would appear, and I'd be like, but now I want a Y. My bucket list of IRL routes. I don't really have one. Basically, if I get the opportunity to ride a train, that's the next one I want to ride on. Oh no, I think I just opened the doors again. I'm used to closing the doors on trains. Wait for these doors to close now. Probably wants a steam diesel electric hybrid with somewhere between 4 and 10 axles, and is both a locomotive and a multiple unit format, yes. Yeah, the Louis branch is something that I'm really interested in, James. Or Lou branch, I don't know how you say it. Don't judge me, Rob. It's the Lou branch, is it? And Liscard. 8 miles to Liscard. Yeah, the Valenta HST is something special, isn't it, Fitz? As compared to the MTU, which is super efficient and very emissions friendly, but less so for the enthusiasts. NJ Ralph found the details for that, the cost of TSW2 have been put on the FAQ, I think. Or they were in the Q&A stream. If you've not seen the Q&A stream that we did the other week, then go and watch that. Up a steep hill at the moment as we're accelerating. Will Train Simulator work on a PC with an integrated graphics card? You've got TS2 and PS4. Consider getting TS2020 but can't find information it'll work. It may work. It may work not very well, Peter, or it may work perfectly well. It depends what the integrated graphics card is. Bearing in mind Steam does let you do everything on a 2-hour refund. So what you could do is just buy it, try it. If you're not happy with how it runs, you can always refund it. It does give you that bit of extra security that you can try these things out a bit. Do I still play TSW on PlayStation? I haven't for a while. But I haven't really played the game properly that much. At all. So. I should stream on the PS4 one time to change that. I might do that. I'll find out what everybody thinks. I literally just got a capture card, another capture card installed on my gaming PC, on my streaming PC. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get that tested tonight and see whether it actually works better than the old Elgato did. If I can get to where my capture environment is working reliably, then I can consider doing that again. But no, the card was failing all the time, so. You can do some class 20 vomit. Smash in. So the consoles have got less graphics memory and video bus speeds than PCs, Dominic, which is why they can't use all the high definition textures that the PCs can. If I could pick any livery for HST, what would it be? My favourite livery is the Merlin Great Western Trains livery. I really like the Merlin Great Western Trains livery. I've got a 00 gauge full-size model of that one. Need to try and dig it out and get it on the railway. High miles to Liscard. Until I see newer consoles, I can't tell you, Dominic. I'm not going to make promises about the unknown. Would I like it to be? Yes, of course. But that's probably your least favourite HST. Oh, it's gorgeous. What are you talking about? I like the Barbie livery because it's got big loads of pink on it. But otherwise than that, no, I agree, it was diabolical. The neon livery is quite nice. Although I preferred the neon on the HST power car as well. Although I gather they have problems with their vinyls peeling off the heated sides of the car, which is why it's not there anymore. No, not cigarette pack with Crucible. That was Great Western. That was the Merlin livery corrupted by First Great Western. I mean the original Great Western Trains Merlin, which is just green and cream. Or green and white, one of the two. There's no dirty, horrible yellow stripe on it. BR Blue would be a close second, Ed. Close second. And Intercity would be after that. This card coming up. Yeah, the Harry Patch one is nice, isn't it? Yeah, I do like the 395, Dominic. If people force me to pick one favourite train, then the 395 would probably be it. This card for the Lou branch. Right, let's go and have a look at the stopping boards. Two plus eight, end of the platform. the right HST port. I know. So yeah, from this card, you come off to the left here, and then over here you've got the other platform that this could, and then that comes along and then goes down and down and down. Big down and a big down and a big down. This is quite steep, this bit. Then we cross back under the Great Western Main Line, or whatever it is called down here. It's not called the Great Western Main Line at this point, is it? There's the main line up there. And we keep on trucking. You want to run like a 153 down here. Except Loo isn't included, so you kind of get to the junction and have to stop. You keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. Little rickety old branch line. You can bring freight trains down here as well, because Moorswater's down here. And then the 153 would come up to here, and then turn, and then head down that way, and go down to Loo. Or up here, you've got the halt there, then back up here a bit. You cross back under the main again. And you've got the Moorswater cement. Oh, this is very nice. I think there's cement down here. Or something. Coombe Junction halt. There you go. One time we travelled on this, the DM had trouble getting uphill. Yeah, it's pretty steep. Any chance of getting Cornish content in TSW? Make sure your suggestions for Cornish content are on the forums. That's all I can say on that. I would love to get something like this onto TSW. Indeed, Crucible. Yeah, that track I believe is all accessible. I don't know if any scenarios use it, but I believe it's all accessible. You can run all the way down. I think that's why that is all included, so you can use specifically that. It's not for the DMU stuff. It's specifically for the Moorswater stuff. Because the pattern the traffic follows essentially is it would come in from the main line down to here to these sidings, it runs round and then brings it all the way back up here, down the loop and into Moorswater, picks up the whatever it's exchanging, empties or fulls, back up here, all the way back round to the sidings here, and then runs round and then heads them back east again. So there's quite a lot of stuff you can do with them in this bit of the route. I've been fascinated with this area of because there's really interesting stuff. I mean, Falmouth this is what Falmouth? Yeah, this is Truro. Yeah, this is Truro, or what the travesty of what's left of Truro anyway. Then the Falmouth branch heads down here. You recognise another one. This I think is the St Earth to, I can't remember the name of it, line that heads up here. It's voted the most scenic railway in the United Kingdom. It's only about 3 or 4 miles long. St Ives, that's it. This is just train route, Bob's Place. It's the Cornish main line. We're on that claim again. This is St Blasey, is it? Yeah, St Blasey. This is the depot. This is the route for one of the China clay mines, and there's another China clay mine about there somewhere up this line here. And then this is the China clay route. You remember there's a route on Steam, the China clay route. That comes down that way. It's just a really fascinating area. One of the things I want to do at some point is just have a holiday down in the West Country and do like a tour of Cornish branches. I don't really care about the main line at all, but I just want to go and have an explore of all the branches. Where am I supposed to wave at you then, Rob, on this route? Or have I already gone past it? What requirements do you need for this route? You just need to buy the route. It's a route that's available on Steam. You don't need any special requirements. It gives you everything you need. Oh, second viaduct approach to Truro. Oh, remind me nearer the time. I will absolutely have forgotten by the time we get there. Ooh, interesting. In the trees. Right, let's drop down to the 40. Streams wise, I think tomorrow is Sam. I'll go and have a look at the schedule in a minute on the email I was sent earlier on. Should get posted up at some point. So, what do we have here? We have me today on the Cornish main line. Tomorrow we've got Sam running Rapid Transit. Wednesday is me on the workshop. Not sure what Sam is doing on Thursday at the moment. Friday is Northern Trans Pennine with Sam, and Saturday is me on Oakville Saltash. Sam can use PZV on Rapid Transit. There you go. It's another learning opportunity, isn't it? Nothing on Sunday, no Crucible. Decided we'd like a day off once a week. .3 for Bodmin Parkway. Oh yes, how to change loco in a scenario. Yeah. What's the reason for that whistling of the Class 20 when you ease off the throttle? That's because the throttle is air controlled, I think. Ed can probably answer that. A lot of BR locos do that. Yeah, Bodmin Parkway, change here for the Bodmin and Brentford Preserve Railway. Folks, if you've got any questions on TSW2, please make sure you have read the FAQ, watched the last Q&A stream we did, and if you've still got questions, then go ahead and post them on the forum. That way we can get you good answers to them. Earl Grey or Darjeeling? Neither. I like a bit of oolong personally. Oolong or gunpowder tea? Depending on whether I need a pick-me-up or not. Gunpowder packs a punch. Those of you with questions about TSW7, redirect your questions to Dev Null. Hey, sorry. Where's my starting board? Down here somewhere. HST stop. I'm just going to assume that means me. Bodmin and Brentford Railway, heading off up that way. That bit there. TSW2 is built using Unreal, Tommy. Where are we going now? Lost with fuel. I am not Rui, no. No, I am not a reenactor of Napoleonic Wars. This loo station in the shape of a toilet. I'm sure nobody has made that joke ever, Taylor. Joke is so bad it got flushed away. Oh yeah. Oh, much gunpowder there. I see what you mean. Now, gunpowder tea is called gunpowder tea because the leaves are tightly wrapped and they resemble gunpowder. See that, Crucible? Droppeth the hammer. Where are we now? We're leaving there and we're heading down to Lostwithiel. Here. No, I tried Earl Grey tea once and I didn't like it at all. No, I generally only drink something like Assam tea with milk, but with black tea, but with green tea or even white tea. I love white tea is my preference. Favourite German route and loco? Hauptstrecke Rheinrohr is probably my favourite route. Favourite loco? Depends what I want to do. The R45 is a favourite to drive at the moment, at least. Favourite American route and loco? Tough. That one's tough. I like all the variety on the Peninsula Corridor. And I think the F40PH is really interesting to drive. But on any given day, purely because of the length of the journeys, I will probably go for Long Island before I go for that, because it's shorter journeys that are not quite so involved. But if I'm down for an hour and a half journey, then I'm right up for Peninsula Corridor. Really good. Where's this signal then? Oh, it's a little tiny ground down there. Yours is the North Jersey coastline? Yeah, that's very good as well. Like that signal's off. Is that our signal? Yeah, it is. Yeah, good. We are clearing a loss with you. Oh, I saw the speed limit was coming up, Abdiva. I just got a little bit of a panic that I'd missed a signal. And then I saw a semaphore and I thought, oh my word. Semaphores only give me one block. That's terrible. That's good. Right, that's the 2+7. 3 plus 8. John, you prefer British routes? Signalling so much easier to understand with British routes. It is. I must admit, I find them a bit too easy, if I'm honest. I find the German routes provide an excellent challenge, but they can be really tough to learn the signalling. Par for the course. Have they got a golf course in Par? I mean, they have to, haven't they? If there isn't a golf course in Par, then they're seriously missing the point. There is a golf course in Par. Yeah. There'd have to be. Get the acceleration to 55 shortly, but we'll be able to accelerate. That's the Fowey branch on the left, while we head for Par. Oh, it's Foy, is it? Fine. Ugh, you foreigners. It's one of the things, because as many of you know, I'm learning Korean at the moment, and one of the things I really like about that language is it's basically written how it's pronounced. It's much easier. Well, for the most part. They've got some rules as well, but for the most part, if you can read the sounds, it sounds right. You don't have to read one thing and it's actually something completely different. Oh no, I realised that. I realised why they're named. We are in a different country, for all purposes. But English is no better. There are English place names that just bear no resemblance to the letters and sounds that are used to make them. Think Welsh and it'll be fine. Is that like me thinking German and being fine, is it then, Rob, is it? Yeah? 2.37 to Par. Pull off the power, now we're going down a 1 in 62. Get some brakes on. I'm glad you're enjoying it, NJ Transit. It's a cracking route. Make sure you drop the author, Minor Man, and a message on one of his uploads and send him a thanks. Right, it's coming up on par, just 100 miles to go. Got the brakes on because we're still coming down a steep gradient. It'll need all the help it can get. Service from Penzance to Paddington in a Pacer. That sounds like fun. Plant Motorman. This came out a while ago actually. It's an old route from Just Trains that was recently uploaded to Steam, and I'm running it today to just because for a change. Oh, bloomin' Western region in there, putting signals on the wrong side of the track. Alright, let's quick fly down. Where are we stopping? There, just after the end. Give it a bit of a boot. Stop cheating, drive proper. I know, but if I was driving proper, I'd have years of training and line learning, which I don't have. So I'm making up for that. Come into stations quicker. Yeah, I'm always really slow when I come into stations. Patty, keep an eye on the social media and you'll get an update whenever there's an update. I don't know when the next update will be. She nearly fell off my chair with that statement. Which statement was that, Gouger? I need to know just in case I need you to fall off a chair in future. Did I punish the little people for raiding the stream on Saturday? No. Where next? St Austell. Just a junction, or near enough the junction for one of the mines, isn't it? Oh, there it is there. That's the clay mine down there, which I can never remember the name of. Burngullow, that's it, or however you pronounce it, in Cornish land. Four miles for St Austell. about to go past the golf course. Is it modelled? This is the area of the golf course, is it? Ah. Long haul freight scenarios for TS2020. Probably find some on Workshop. Jack, you're enjoying Ryan War Austin? Good to hear. I watched a couple of all the stations, but not all of them. Don't get a lot of time for watching YouTube, to be honest. How long left? That long left. So we're due in there at 8:09 and we finish at 9:11, so it's about another hour to go on the stream yet. Yeah, I hope we were getting the 707s. Shouldn't need to brake quite as hard as normal because we're going up a 1 in 73 gradient. When's the next TSW video? Sam is running TSW tomorrow, Salted Chips. Rapid Transit, I think. What was the community challenge? Only me. I've not really been keeping up to date on that. Don't forget to pick up a pasty. One at every station. Because they're that good. Oh, summer match driving stream should count to community challenge. It will do, Roy. It will do. We're using the same game client. Shibundo, I must have missed your comments. Say them again. Not missing anybody intentionally. Transport and Gaming Guy, if you've got questions, then please do make sure you post them on the forum. Time to go. Excellent. Truro. Right, this is where we have to keep an eye out for Rob's house. Have you ever worked on a TSW project that you abandoned? I wouldn't be able to tell you that even if it was true. Because it might, if it was an abandoned project, it might not be abandoned at some point in the future. Seefahrheitsverschaltung, something like that, Volmic. He might be intentionally missing that, actually, for me. I was tempted to. What are my thoughts on YouTube comment bots? It's just pointless. Just pointless. Oh dear. People ballooning their numbers and their stats for no good reason at all, other than it's not even boosting your ego because it's not real numbers, so. Say it out, you. Is this the AP Cars 43? No, it isn't. It's the one in the Euro stock pack. I can't remember what it's called now. The Euro Classic European Stock and Assets pack. Hey there, Simulation Gamer. I am good, thank you. Sam's traumatised. Must admit, I was surprised when people told me it turned PZB on. But I remember the first time I turned PZB on, when I was streaming, and I made an absolute colossal failure of it. And many, 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 many times afterwards. In fact, most of the time since then, to be fair. The chat just shouldn't shut up until he did it. So you browbeated him into it. No, I didn't see the video of Sam using PZB, no. I heard about it. I smiled. I've been through all of these pains. Right, Mr. Powell, we are 11.5 miles from Truro. Indeed, when do we wave at Rob? 2 more tunnels, 2 more viaducts, and then we're home. At least then Rob's home anyway. You're not coming with us to Penzance then? How's the community challenge driving 4 billion metres going? Well, I gather it's up to about 2.3 at the moment, which means you all need to drive a lot more. Yeah, the problem with learning PCB really is you've got no clue what you did wrong. Absolutely. And then the other problem with learning PCB is that when you start looking at all the different things that you've got to do, it looks like you've got to remember an absolute booklet of facts and numbers and things, when in actual fact it's only 1/3 of that information, which is not difficult at all, depending on what you're actually doing at the time. No date for the next TSW stream yet, no. Are there any monorail route for TS2020? There is the Shanghai Maglev. Simulation game. You're getting East Coastway this week? Ooh, enjoy. Yeah, I heard about the news today about them putting the new signalling onto it. I'm sure they'll get all of it done eventually. Trains vs Zombies, it's not really a model railroad, no. It's basically, the first Trains vs Zombies was based on London Oxford, and the second Trains vs Zombies was based on North East Corridor. Seven miles. Yeah, you're thinking of the holiday pack, Volmic. I think it was just called the holiday route or something like that. Grown man arguing with a safety system. Oh yeah, I know, I've been there. I've been in total throw my toys out of the pram because of the stupid train mode. Holiday Express, that's the one. Was VR involved in any of the toy thing? Well, when I initially learned PZB, it was Mike at Virtual Railroads that helped me learn it. When I was working with publishing their BR143 to Steam, it was the first project I did when I was when I joined Dovetail. But then I didn't do anything with PZB afterwards for ages, and then when I later on came to do it in the stream, I was completely, I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing, but I didn't realise I had no idea. One of those things when you look back and you just want to slap yourself across the face and go, you have no idea. Just turn it off. Turn it off. 5 miles. When did I join DTG? About 8 or 9 years ago. What did I do in all the years there? So I started out as head of third-party dev, so I helped publish third-party add-ons and bring on new third-party developers, of which Virtual Railroads BR143 was my first. And then I was involved with getting Workshop operational for TS2013. I was involved with it. I was a producer of TS2014. And probably from about when 2015 was going onwards, I was actually more looking after what was called Train Sim 2 at that point, but eventually became Train Sim World. I started off as a technical designer and then became the senior producer. But over the time I've done all sorts of things, from scripting of locos. I did, on some of the American, the Norfolk Southern Heritage Collection, the way the ditch lights flash properly and so forth. I spent a few hours one evening writing all the scripting for all of that, for that pack. And I wrote the signalling for New York, New Haven, and the cab signalling. But all sorts of stuff, basically. I do whatever I need to do. That's good fun. I like trying new things. This is a tunnel, Rob. Is this tunnel 1 or tunnel 2? That's tunnel 1. Okay. Whose idea was to bring TSW to consoles? You can talk to the CEO about that. It's been a company goal for quite a long time to work out how we could do that, because one of the number one questions was, why can't I play Train Sim 2020 or whatever it was at the time on console? I remember on Western Lines of Scotland I even had to learn how to use a bit of 3D Studio Max. That's like giving laser guns to cavemen, it really is. I needed to get the 4 lights on the front of the back 5. I needed to get them set up. I wanted to make those so you could turn them on and off and get the light formations. But none of the artists had any time, they were all busy on urgent stuff. So I basically said, does that machine over there have 3ds Max on it? I'm like, they said, yeah. I said, okay, I'm going to play. And they're like, no. But I got it working. YouTube is a great resource for learning, as were they. Hey, Trains from TV, Tom, how's it going? I don't know why I've slowed down for. Alright everyone, it's not long now before we get to the exciting Royal Wave for Mr. Powell. Is it this one, Rob? Next one. Right, everyone wave to Mr. Powell. Hello, Rob. Right, it's coming into Truro. Yeah, the 3D artists use 3ds Max, yeah. I know whenever I do 3D modelling I use Blender personally. But my 3D models tend to look like basically the pixels all fell apart on the screen. A lot of people very highly regard Blender these days. It's taken some really big leaps forward in functionality and usability. It used to be virtually really difficult to use. That's probably the stop down there, isn't it? Oh, never mind. I'll pretend to care. How many people on average used to develop a locomotive? 1 or 2 artists, 1 or 2 setup people, 1 audio person usually, something like that. What's next? Red Reef. Well, graphics card fits. This is a 980 Ti. When I bought this machine 2 or 3 years ago, I basically went for the best I could get at the time, knowing I wasn't getting another one for about 5 or 10 years. Right. Off to Red Reef in 9 miles. What do I think of Pacers? I think Pacers are awesome. They should make Pacers a standard. That's the Falmouth branch going off the left there. Glorious tank engines and things running up and down there. Brilliant. It's a nice route, this. Gonna get some meters added to the community challenge. Good on you. Thanks, only mate. Do I play Fishing Sim World, Sam? I used to play it a lot, but I haven't played it much lately. I haven't played any of the Brew Pro Tour, for example. Nice and up and down, so I've got to keep watching the throttle. If you're going to drive a high-speed train, then at least the landscape should make it an interesting drive. What are some challenges making routes? And the challenges are about the same in both games, to be honest. It's working out what you do and don't want to represent, because if you try and represent everything, you'll never finish the project. What's important? What can you get access to? And what don't you know at the end of it? Well, trains come with a chute. There's nothing explicitly comes with it. It does. If you haven't already got the classic train pack, it comes with that. So you get things like the HST, the 166. 3 miles down to Red Roof. And we're actually coming in a little lot early by the looks of that. You like the flashy red light that comes with the 20. Flashy red lights are what's important. Eurostar or the HST? HST. I've got no idea what's going to happen to the Voyager's Euromaster. Hey, we're coming up on Red Roof. We've got Camborne, Hale and St Earth before we get into Penzance. Red Roof. About 20 minutes to go. Thank you, Rob. Will HS2 ever be in Train Sim World? Well, if you've got routes that you want to see, post them over on our forums. There is a place for suggestions and feedback. Time to go, Camden. It's a TSW stream tomorrow, not TSW2 Transport and Gaming. Sam, I think, is running Rapid Transit. Four miles for Camborne. I'm going to have to take the power off, aren't I? Yeah. Is this map available on PS4? No, this is Train Sim 2020, which is not available on PS4, Dark Tiger. This is just a PC one. EJP, I believe the answer to that is yes, but please, if you can have a look through the FAQ and the last Q&A we did, but failing that, if that doesn't answer your question, post it into the forums, as Easily Confused has just posted the link to, and at some point we're going to try and go through some questions. We've got more Q&A streams coming up. I have no idea, Joshua. No, I've got no idea. It's not written down on the schedule, I don't think, exactly what train he's going to drive. 1.6 for Camborne. Tesco Extra. Oh dear. When's the next QA session? This hasn't been announced yet. Yeah, why isn't anyone talking? Give me things to respond to. Try not to miss any stations. We've gone this long. We're about an hour and 50 minutes into this scenario. It would be sad to miss a station in the last 3. But it's very possible. What headset do I use, Syndicate? This is a Razer Chroma Quartz. I think it's called a Kraken. Oh, come on, that was pretty much spot on. Joshua, no, it's all mine and no one else can have it. So there. Seji, there will be DLCs for TSW2, yes. What's after Camborne? Hale, Snurf, Penzance. Yeah, sorry, Josh. What's my favourite drink? I like iron brew. I like tea. I like water. That's not really a drink though, Joshua, to be fair. Never tried drinking Jaffa cakes. I'm game though. Hale, 5.8 miles. Where are we on the map? We're down to straight Hale, Snurf, and then Penzance. So that bit left to do. Did all of this. Yeah, I've not been finding myself on the outside too much, and it's because of the AWS that keeps going off. So far, touch wood, I've managed to catch it every time, but because you can't hear the AWS. Is TSW going to be ported to the next gen consoles, Clausel? There's nothing been announced on that front, so hang fire and we'll see. Oh, you kids wanted to see Cornish, there you go. Slow down up to 50, not less than that. Am I going to get a PS5 or a Series X? I'm leaning towards the Series X, but might end up getting both. But I really like the look of the Series X. And historically, other than the PS4, I've always owned an Xbox of some sort. Sharp bend with a level crossing in it. Oh, there it is, look. Have I ever driven a real train? No. Well, I say that. I drove a little Sentinel shunter 10 yards down a siding and back again on the Blue Bum. Yeah, Gran Turismo would be one of the reasons I would want to get a PlayStation 5, if any. GT is a fabulous game. .9 for hail. Who hails from hail? Do they get large ice balls coming down here as well? Three miles of golden sand, wow. And I'm just betting it's packed with people at the moment. Alfie, this is DTG stream, so I'm showing off DTG stuff. I played Forza Horizon 4, yes. It's in the Xbox Game Pass. Right, we're coming up on hail. Get on those AWSs. Get some brakes on so we can actually have a chance of stopping. Yeah, the new consoles are stunning specifications. Will I be getting the new Microsoft Flight Sim? Yeah, it's part of Xbox Game Pass. It's like I've got Minecraft Dungeons and I've installed it but I've never actually played it. Rui, you can stream Train Sim and Train Sim World? Of course you can. You've got a small community asking for some streams on TS and TSW. Yeah, well, absolutely. What's the keyboard key for braking the train? It's the semicolon and the apostrophe that's next to it for the train brake. If you want the emergency brake, it's usually the backspace key. St Earth, penultimate stop, 1.5 miles. We are nearly there. Do I have a Discord? I do indeed, NJ. Oh dear, it's an Earth coming up. 1.4 miles. Chris, you treated yourself to an Xbox One controller. Yeah, they're good, aren't they? I got a nice one. But yeah, Bluetooth, especially the newer ones, just Bluetooth and they connect right up. Yeah, it's the Minecraft pig. Of all the random things, I noticed this yesterday. On the inside of the battery cover is the carrot. On the inside of the battery cover. Alright, coming once on Earth. Try not to miss it. Hey, John Animal. Yes, it's the pig. I love the Xbox One controller, it's very good. Two plus 8 after the box. Whoops. Go well with the headphones? Yep, absolutely. That was the idea. It's like my my mouse. And this is the branch line off up, and I believe there's a workshop route actually with this route. Someone I think has done this route as a up to St Ives up as a workshop route. You looked them up once on Amazon, Polonius. That's what it is. Even if by accident. I think his daughter has something to do with pink stuff. No, I genuinely like the colour pink, John. I like it mostly because it seems to wind people up, to be fair. That's when I used to play. For those of you who are old enough to remember, back when before the internet was much of a thing, if it were anything at all anything at all really. There was LAN gaming events, LAN parties, and so friends and I would always get together. You know, they'd bring all their PCs to one of the houses, set them all up all over the house, be 10 or 15 of us, and we would be playing games like Need for Speed and Quake and Doom and all that stuff. And we used to play racing game, Need for Speed 3 it was, and I set up we set up the cars. We used to customise our cars, and I clicked the wrong button, and my Lamborghini became bright pink. And they were all laughing really hard and wouldn't let me change it, so I had to drive in a pink car. But I won that race. So I thought, I wonder what happens, and I tried the car. I forgot to change the car, and they thought that was even more hilarious. And I won that race. And it dawned on me that they were paying so much attention laughing at my pink car, but they weren't paying enough attention driving. And basically I decided from that moment on I would stick with pink as my colour. Because people get distracted when they see, like if you're playing a first-person shoot-'em-up and someone walks in wearing bright pink clothes, they immediately stop to go, wait, what? And that's usually enough. It's very cool, super distracting for people. I have no idea why it bothers people so much, but it does. We're getting there to speed slowly. We're almost up to the 75. Josh, Pink AC 4400. So there is a company in Australia that have a locomotive that they've painted up that's very similar to an AC 4400 or an ES 44. It's that style. I can't remember exactly what class, but it's bright pink with a bit of white on it. It's gorgeous. Your mum's neighbour painted a house bright pink. That sounds fantastic. I keep threatening to get my car vinyled up, painted pink. But I think that distracting all of the other drivers on the road is probably not the best thing to do. There was someone in the local area that had a bright pink modern Beetle. It looked awesome. There is a Class 66 shed, yeah, it's in ONE livery. It's a Freightliner, but it's in ONE livery. Hey there, Tintin. Right, we're about as far south and west as we can go at this point. Much further than this gets a bit wet. Everyone put your boots on. You bet all of my trains in TSW had a pink livery, obviously. Right, speed up a bit for the last mile and a half. You're welcome, John. Glad you enjoyed it. We went to a single track section, a little while back. Arsenal fan. That's our signal. Yellow. Is there any AI? I don't think we've seen any, have we, Bob's Place? Can't remember. It's not been memorable. There's been AI, is there? Okay. I've not been paying attention, clearly. It's been a good scenario, though. Right, that's us down to 15. We'll cross onto the right-hand track. And we arrive at Penzance. Stinky TBWS. Thank you, Dave Hard. It's closer than I normally make it to the buffers. See you later, Arsenal. See you later, Rob. Right, we're almost there. Just got to wait for the passengers to do their thing. And that's been the Cornish main line, folks. We started off all the way over at Plymouth and worked our way along this 80 or so miles of route to get us to Penzance. It's a Just Trains add-on. It's available on Steam. And like I said, I also think that this branch here, the Uptons and Ives, is on Steam Workshop. This branch down here is the Falmouth branch. You can get that Steam Era version. From sort of about there to there and down to Foy is the China Clay route. So there's other bits and pieces around there that you can get in other routes as well. And that's that. It's not going to let me out. It is going to let me out. Excellent. Super. Alright then folks, thank you very much indeed for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow is back, 5 o'clock tomorrow. Tomorrow is back. Sam is back tomorrow. At 5 o'clock with, I believe it's the Rapid Transit on Train Sim Mod. Okay, take care everyone. See you later. Bye bye.